Today is a special day because we are going to speak about the sunk cost fallacy. And this is an extremely important topic and it also affects career decisions, professional development big time. So please stay tuned as this might be nothing less than career defining. So welcome everybody, because today we're gonna explore an often overlooked topic that significantly impacts many of our career decisions. And I call it the sunk cost fallacy in professional development. And we'll explain what this is, how it affects your professional growth, and most importantly, how to avoid falling into this common trap. So let's get started. So what even is the sunk cost fallacy in professional development? So the sunk cost fallacy is essentially when you continue doing something or sticking with a decision simply because you've already invested a significant amount of time or money or effort into it, even if it's not even longer worth it. And this means it hasn't brought you the desired results or may not have met your expectations. It's like being stuck in a mental trap where you feel you need to keep going to avoid wasting what you've already invested. But that's not that smart because it's backwards looking instead of forward looking. So let me give you a tangible example. So you decided to join an investment program that promised to double your money within 6 months. And you're excited about the potential returns and you agreed to invest $500 every single month. And the idea was simple, right? Because in half a year, you would see your money double, making it a lucrative opportunity. Big red flag. Because you began diligently investing your 500 euros each month. And after the first month, you felt a sense of pride and anticipation. And the second month passed and you still felt optimistic. And by the third and fourth months, there were no signs of profit. But you reassured yourself that these things just take time. And by the sixth month, you had invested a total of $3,000. And you eagerly checked your account and expecting to see some positive results. But there was nothing. Zero profit. And you felt a pang of disappointment, but reasoned that maybe you needed to give it a bit more time. Because the initial promise of doubling your money kept ringing in your ears. So you continued, right? And in the seventh month, you added another 500, still no profit. And friends and family started to question your decision, but you brushed off their concerns and convinced that the investment would eventually pay off. And by the 8th month, you had invested $4,000. And yet again, there were no returns. And the account balance remained stagnant. And despite the mounting evidence that this investment strategy wasn't working, you were unable to stop. You couldn't bring yourself to stop. And you kept thinking about the $4,000 already sunk into this venture. And stopping now would mean accepting that all that money was wasted. And each time you consider pulling out, the thought of the lost funds made you hesitate. So deep down, you knew it wasn't rational. The money you had already invested was gone. And continuing to pour more money into a failing investment wasn't going to bring it back. But the hope that you could eventually recover your losses if you just kept going was hard to shake. So at the end, you have two options. Either you continue what you're doing until you lose all your money, or you stop and accept that this is a lesson that costs you $4,000 in this example. And the sunk cost fallacy is also a valid concept in our careers. Because in our professional journeys, we have constant investments. We invest our time, we invest our money, we invest our energy in various ways. And of course, we expect to get something in return. A better position, a promotion, a better payment, more responsibility, whatsoever it is for you. So what happens for the majority of professionals is that while they have invested $250,000 in a degree that potentially helps them to get a job, they are unwilling or unable to invest 1 or 3% of this in coaching or mentoring or certification to actually get that result, get that job that they dream of, get that responsibility that they want. And that's just one out of 100 examples, because our careers are journeys and we get into a path. And if you're on the wrong path, you will never reach your destination. And if we don't reach our goal, our destination, things will get ugly sooner or later. So let's go back to the original example. So you promised that you would double your original investment within the next 6 months, right? And we said it was a red flag because it's an unrealistic goal. And I'm already happy to see some finance coaches commenting on this and calling me out and blah. Yeah, I know. So planning your career means managing expectations and setting realistic goals and anticipating failure. And if you have applied to hundreds of positions and still no interviews, why keep you doing the same thing? Just because you bought that fancy resume template that cost you 200 or 300 US dollars. That doesn't make sense. So here is how you can avoid it. So first, create a plan. Because when adopting a new approach, whether it's a job search plan or a skill development course or a networking strategy, always note the potential benefits, the potential risks, and establish KPIs and a clear timeline. So evaluate your strategy and be willing to adapt if necessary. Second, declare failure. Accepting failure should not be perceived as quitting. Let me repeat this. Accepting failure should not be perceived as quitting. I was failing more often in my career as I was succeeding. And I'm still here, right? So sometimes it is the wisest thing to accept failure. Because if you're hitting a dead end after another dead end after another dead end, what you should do is to go back a few steps and not doing more of the same that is not successful. So identify the reasons for your failure. So did you follow the plan properly? Don't just blame others. Don't blame your coach, right? Blame yourself first. Look what you need to change and then start to blame others. Maybe it was a misalignment with your career goals. Maybe you overestimated your capabilities. And sometimes the problem is not the plan or the execution, but it's the original goal. So create career goals with room for flexibility. It's about direction and not about that specific thing you want to do in 10 years. Because honestly speaking, no one knows what is in 10 years. Then next, you need to find a calibration mechanism. For example, a mentor. Because irrational or impulse decisions are common in career planning. That's why having someone in the co-pilot seat with you is essential. Someone who knows about your skills and aspirations and also knows about the professional landscape. So someone who can offer an external perspective and provide the necessary clarity and also calibrate your career decisions with your long-term objectives in mind. And this, by the way, is not a sales pitch. There are hundreds and thousands of people out there that might be a potential fit for even your budget. Because not everyone can afford this seniority level, and that's fine. But don't go that journey by yourself, because you need someone also that helps you to take a different perspective, that points you to a potential sunk cost fallacy that you are trapped in, to help you to realize what you actually want to do and to call you out if there are mistakes you're not even seeing. So now, with that being said, every plan needs time to yield tangible results. So it's your job to establish a realistic time frame that is still ambitious, but also you accept responsibility and hold yourself accountable for your actions. There's literally no one, and I mean no one, that can go the way for you. Yes, you can get guidance. Yes, you can get calibration. Yes, you will need luck on the journey, but the vast majority of success comes from you. So keep pushing. And if you're not already doing it, start pushing systematically. So long.